What's going on, Flicks Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for the debut of Dave Franco, written and directed by Dave Franco. It is The Rental. This film did come out July 24th, 2020. It is rated R, and it is 1 hour and 28 minutes. Now, before I get into this quick synopsis, let's go over this cast. This film does star Dan Stevens as Charlie, Alison Brie as Michelle, Sheila Vand as Mina, and Jeremy Allen White as Josh. And the quick synopsis for The Rental is: two couples rent a vacation home for what should be a celebratory getaway weekend. Alright guys, now like I did mention, this is Dave Franco, James Franco's younger brother's debut as far as behind the screen. So that was a refreshing take, to say the least, guys, because when I did see this trailer, it was nothing that really grabbed me too much. I thought it was going to be a home invasion movie. And it is to some degree, but with a little more depth, a little more heart to the horror genre. And that's jumping directly to my likes for this movie, guys, is the development of these characters that you care so much about, whether they live or die. So I appreciated, like, the first hour of this movie is dedicated to building these characters up. These two couples that go on a getaway, a weekend getaway in this Airbnb, which is a beautiful Airbnb. You guys will see it in the trailer, in some of these clips that I put up right now. And I was just like, okay, how are they going to get me to care about a couple of actors that I don't really know about, a couple of the actors I do really know about, and he found a way to make me care about these characters. So I definitely got to give kudos to Dave Franco for not only the directing, but also the writing of these characters. So we'll start off with Dan Stevens as Charlie. He's someone that I saw in The Guest, and he kind of has that very clean, heartthrobby look where, you know, girls kind of fall for him and guys want to be him, but he also has a dark, sinister side. And in this one, he kind of plays someone that's not very, I guess, clean cut, I'll just say, without giving any spoilers away. So I appreciated the development of his character. And there's also his girlfriend, Alison Brie, who I've seen from Community more notably, and she's also in the show Glow that was on Netflix for a couple of seasons. Did not catch that one, but I know a lot of people have seen it, and, you know, a lot of good praise about that show. So I really appreciated her performance in this one, Alison Brie. There was a couple of over-the-top, more dramatic scenes, but, you know, they were warranted in the situations that she was in, so it was appropriate. But she did kind of go over the top with the performances in a couple of the scenes towards the end of the movies, and that was totally fine. Now, jumping to Sheila Vand, who plays Mina. Now, she was a character at first that I didn't care about because right off the bat, she starts saying everything's racist, this person's being offensive, and it was a little bit too SJW for me, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm cut from a different cloth, so I don't really get offended too easy, and she was getting offended by everything. So at first, I didn't really, you know, 100% support this character as far as like being a final girl, or, you know, knowing what was going to happen, or even caring if she lived or died in this film. But over the progression of the film and the situations that she did get in, guys, at this location of the rental house, I actually grew to like her character a lot. So much props to the writing once again. And that brings me to my last character of Jeremy Allen White, who plays Josh, and he plays Mina's boyfriend. Now, he was probably the least favorite character of the bunch for me because he was someone that was a little bit, you know, I felt like he didn't have his acting chops, but then at the same time, like, he felt like a normal guy, and I think that's what they were going for. He was someone that was kind of the slacker of the group, if anything. So in that sense, I guess he played the part of that character well, but it just seemed more like a lazy character. But I think out of the four, he was supposed to be like that character because everyone kind of had their career set path. Mina was also a partner to Charlie, Dan Stevens' character in the movie. I forget what they did, but they worked together. So, you know, they both had careers going on, as well as Alison Brie's character. So Josh was kind of like, I think at the beginning of the film, they did say that he was like a Lyft or an Uber driver. So he wasn't really, you know, on a solid career path, so to speak. But yeah, that's the four that we get, the four main characters. So we also get Toby Huss, who plays Taylor. Now, he plays someone that is, you know, related to someone that's renting the house to them. So at first in the trailers, they make it a little like he is the killer or he is the home invader of this. So I actually appreciated the trailer for kind of diving deep into, is he the killer? Is he associated with the killer? What's going on? Is it someone completely different? Is it someone out of the cast that I just named? You don't know. And that's where I like this movie so much, is it kind of threw a left turn and I thought I knew what was going to happen, but it didn't end up happening the way it was predicted to happen, at least for me in my mind. Kudos to Dave Franco on the ambitious writing. Now, jumping to some dislikes for this movie, if I really have any, is kind of the originality of everything. It's so easy when you jump behind the camera, especially for the first time, to create a thriller horror movie. They're so easy to make, very, very low budget, especially when it's like one setting. Outside, if you count that as another setting, guys. So I think with that, he wasn't extremely ambitious with trying something different, but he executed, I think, pretty well. And that's where I got to give Dave Franco, once again, some kudos points, because it was less than an hour and 30 minutes. Perfect. He gave us some cast members that I cared if they lived or died. Perfect. He gave me a villain, I'm not going to say who I feared. And that's kind of what you want when you're going into a suspenseful, reality-based film like this, because maybe not this year because of COVID, but we were all kind of, taking vacations, going on Airbnbs. Airbnbs have been the hottest thing in like the last 2, 3, 4 years instead of staying at a hotel. So I think the relatability of all of that kind of puts you on edge. It really scares you in this real life situation that could possibly happen. So I think for overall my points on this film, my likes, my dislikes of everything, I gotta give this a solid 4 out of 5, saying I would definitely add this to my collection. It's brought to us by IFC Films, which is a perfect place to introduce something like this from Dave Franco as a debut, because they put out a lot of projects, a lot of horror projects that in my eyes are pretty good. Some duds, but for the most part, the ones that I've seen, IFC midnight releases, they're awesome. It is on VOD now, which I believe is iTunes, Amazon, Google Play Store, Vudu, anywhere you guys can rent movies. I believe it's only $6, and I would say it's well worth your money. All right, guys, if you did appreciate my review, please hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe and bell notification for more movie content like this. And if you do plan on checking out The Rental this weekend, let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, till next time, I'm gone. Peace.